Friends, Pradeep Pindyala. Today I am going to talk to you about basic life support and something called COLS, compressions only life support, and also about the father of COLS in India, Dr. Siddha Chakrarao, an anesthesiologist from Kakinada. But before talking about COLS, I would love to introduce you about one emergency response service system which is there all over India. That is 108 emergency services. It is equivalent to 911, 911 of US and other foreign countries. So the 108 emergency response service is the free emergency service providing integrated medical as well as police and fire emergency services. Whenever there is an emergency, do call 108 emergency service by telephone. Now talking about basic life support, what is it all about? BLS is a level of medical care which is used for victims of life-threatening illnesses or injuries until they can given full medical care by advanced medical support providers. It can be provided by trained medical personnel such as emergency medical technicians and qualified bystanders. Now we are going to teach bystanders. COLS, I did mention about Dr. Chakrara. He is the father of COLS in India, compressions only life support, and he has taught through his friends and colleagues and other support system and Indian Resuscitation Council, which is a part of Indian Society of Anesthesiologists national team, millions of bystanders how to give COLS, compressions only life support, and save a life. Now coming back to basic life support, it comprises initial assessment, airway maintenance, and expire air ventilation, that is called rescue breathing, mouth to mouth ventilation, and chest compressions. When all are combined, the term cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, is used. I'm sure you must have heard about it. And what are the 7 steps of CPR? The 7 steps of CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, involve checking the scene and the person, calling 911 or 108 in India. 911 if you are living abroad for assistance. If you are in India, call 108 service and opening the airway, checking for breathing, chest compressions, delivering rescue breaths, and repeating CPR steps. Now, initial assessment, airway maintenance, and breathing, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. These are the 3 components of CPR. Check, call, and care. Training your brain before you find yourself in a high pressure situation where you are going to help and save a life and potentially help someone in almost a death scene. There are 3 basic C's: check, call, and care. When it comes to first aid, there are 3 P's to remember: preserve life, prevent deterioration, and promote recovery. Now, instead of ABC, which stands for airway, breathing, now, American Heart Association wants us, the rescuers, to practice CAB instead of ABCs. Now, CAB, that is chest compression first, then airway, and then breathing. What is the purpose of BLS? Basic life support, or BLS, generally refers to the type of care that first responders, healthcare providers, or public, as the layperson, safety professional provide to anyone who is experiencing cardiac arrest, respiratory distress, or an obstructed airway. That means he's choking. That can be treated with Heimlich method. One cycle of CPR consists of 30 compressions and 2 breaths. When compressions are delivered at a rate of about 100 per minute, 5 cycles of CPR takes around 2 minutes. Okay? Now, after every 30 chest compression at a rate of 100 to 120 per minute, give 2 breaths. Continue with 2 cycles of 30 chest compression and 2 rescue breaths until the person begins to recover or emergency service people arrive. Now, once the rescuer recognizes an unresponsive victim, he or she should call for either an ambulance, as I said, 108, or any other layperson so that the victim can be transferred for advanced medical management at the earliest. Now, basic life support includes recognition of sign of sudden cardiac arrest, SCA, heart attack, stroke, and foreign body airway obstruction, that is known as FBAO, that is foreign body airway obstruction. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation and defibrillation with an automated external defibrillator are the requirements. Now, basic life support includes recognition of the signs of sudden cardiac arrest, SCA, heart attack, stroke, and FBAO, which I just mentioned. Resuscitation Council, formed by the Indian Society of Anesthesiologists, that is ISA, for resuscitating cardiac arrest victim outside the hospital by layperson. That is the cornerstone and the turning point of Indian Resuscitation Council, which was formed from the Indian Society of Anesthesiologists, and the development of compressions only life support of India, that is short COLS, compressions only life support. Now, talking about COLS, compression only life support, is an effective and conventional CPR for a cardiac arrest at home, at work, or in a public place. Chest compressions only, compressions alone, hands only, bystander CPR, and cardiopulmonary arrest outside the hospital. The rate of chest compression should be 100 to 120 per minute, and compressions depth should be at least 5 centimeters. That means around 2 inches, but not more than 6 centimeters. It should not be more than 6 centimeter depth of compression. Okay, the rescuer should allow complete chest recoil between compressions without lifting hands from the chest, but should not lean on the victim's chest. I repeat the sentence: the rescuer should allow complete chest recoil between compressions without lifting hands from the chest, but should not lean on the victim's chest. There should be minimum interruption during chest compression. If there is more than one rescuer, then they should change or exchange hands after every 5 cycles till there is a sign of return of spontaneous circulation, ROSC, or medical help arrives through your call to 108 service. The aim of COLS is to provide continuous, uninterrupted chest compressions to improve the survival and neurological outcome. Thanks for patient listening. This is Colonel Pradeep Pendyala, Professor of Anesthesiology at Ashram Medical College, Eluru City of India, Andhra Pradesh, India. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye. Thanks for patient listening. And keep teaching COLS to every layperson. Thank you. And this has been included even in 2020 American Heart Association guidelines. The importance of layperson learning the basic life support or saving a life. Thank you.